So one problem with recording movies and audio is sometimes the audio doesn't perfectly sync up with the visuals. And this can be because, for example, distance. If you're very far away and talking, and you compare camera and you're recording the sound closer by, let's say with a microphone, then there might be actually a delay between when the light reaches the camera and the microphone. This actually can be significant. So we have that thing going on. Another thing that we have sort of going on is the fact that there might be also that farther away might not be as clear. So if you have a microphone close by to sync up everything close by, the audio is not as clear. So how do we get away with this? Well, people have all sorts of tricks to help sync up audio by making like loud, soft peaks of noises every now and then to readjust audio, professional makers and stuff. But all that stuff requires resources that the average person may or may not have and may put them at a disadvantage. So here are some ideas I have to get rid of any so-called disadvantage a person may have. One would be to have a microphone with a distance sensor. And this can be built in, or this could be something to like the camera, the microphone sends a signal to distance to your phone. When the phone figures out how far away it is with the other camera, it could become in a two-stage device where you have one stage that measures distance, where you have one microphone nearby and you have something farther away that measures distance they can attach. And this would not be a big deal, actually, if it's slightly off, because the farther away you are, the slight differences compared to other object, the object recording, the less that becomes significant, and it goes down rapidly. But the closer everything is together, the less it has to be accurate with distance also, as there's the sound and light more sync up with exact timing. Or it could be that it has a location meter and your phone has a location meter of some sort like GPS, and it figures out distance that way. Or some other method. Another idea is various AIs that look at your video and judge how far the subject is that is making noise and corrects it that way. Or it looks at when the subject is talking or something and tries to match up the audio with the mouth movements with the audio of you talking. This would take a lot more training, a lot more computation power than other ones. Still may be doable. Or you could have an AI that roughly matches everything with speeds and stuff based on both or other parameters. You could have an AI that tries to look at sound that as it's traveling and figures out, oh, the sound is changing, distorted, then we correct it so all the sound sounds more even and throughout it. Such as when you're moving away from an object, your sound becomes lower, and when you're moving towards it, higher pitch, or soft, and it becomes quieter or softer. Now these are very slight changes, but you might notice that more, or might notice the amplitude of background noises increases or changes, and uses that to guess about how to autocorrect stuff. And this autocorrecting can also be to save energy and time. Would be if you combine this with getting rid of background noise and stuff, since you can use the same computation to kind of do a little bit of both, and that can save a lot of energy in a chip and also time than doing both calculations separately. Another idea is that kind of bypassing sound altogether and just make the auto subtitles better matched up with mouth movements and other movements in general, and extending it and figuring out how long to keep them on better so people have an easier time reading it if they're a slow reader or whatever they may or may not have. So another one is that camera could record the focal distance it has in, or how far it thinks it's focusing on objects, and does all those auto-adjusting focus features, and use that to help the microphone or sound system later on sync up all together. This is somewhat more of an expensive calculation than the first one, the microphone with distance sensor, but something that cameras are already working on with the autofocus feature. I want to point that out, and a lot of other features for just making the image look better and stuff. Or do this to some extent, and gives even further motivation to develop those things to become even better. So it might not be as big of a loss as it sounds like to develop such a technology much further. It also could promote the development of cameras and mobile lenses more, that and mobile sensors that make more of a 3D image, which also could have in itself many, many benefits outside of what I've discussed. And another idea is simple to hire someone and figure out a better hiring platform for people to do odd end jobs like this and still afford to make a basic living in some way, because affording a basic living is very important. Another idea is to have microphones and sound systems placed throughout and use that to get better sound quality and sync stuff up. So one example would be that the camera you're recording has a sound feature and there's a microphone on your chest. Now, the microphone on your chest might give you better sound quality, but it gets distorted as you move around. Now, the microphone on the camera might not give as good. It might not really be made as good of a microphone for that reason, but we use features then to sync this two audios up, and the phone acts as the feature to sync up the audio actually. As you can see how much the two kind of lag behind. And that can take away a lot of the guesswork that you might have in the microphone one. You still need an AI of some sort to do this probably, and that also promotes the idea for the AI. This could be combined easily with the microphone with distance sensor and the AI and the camera auto record focus in the multi-sound system in this own system. So you can try the higher ones, because maybe the other ones give you good file for someone else to work on more quickly. The other thing a multi-sound system could do, potentially, which will make it hugely beneficial, is that a multi-sound system could also maybe get rid of background noises better, because different microphones might detect background noises differently and to different extents and have different types of background noises that could equate more out. It could also be that a multi-sound system might be able to give a virtual reality or 3D focus better, so you can move the soundscape more. And you might also be able to detect the direction of the sound better by seeing how it sounds differently in different locations. And in that direction could be used to filter out noises that come from a different directions or stuff like that. Or enhance the sound experience by having sounds played slightly differently from the right or left speakers. Another idea is to have a personal voice enhance just to make for an individual hear better. Maybe an individual has a hard time processing certain noises compared to differently than a certain other individual. Or maybe they want to tune out certain noises more. So just having different settings for a video for different people. And your computer could calculate this in a couple different ways. One is if you have upload a video is calculated in real time, but then you might have to slow down the video. We might not have as much of a dramatic change because it's doing real-time calculations. So there's a limit to how fast it can do real-time before the video gets noticeably too slow, or you have to stop the video, something like that. So that limits it there. And also it might use up more power than if it already had the video pre-done. They can do the video pre-done, but then you have to wait a little while before watching it. Or you can have a couple different formats of sound saved somehow and markers that you use to make either you download a fully formatted video in that version and it's already made so it takes zero time, or you can use that template to do real-time calculations or something closer to what you already want, which might give you the best of both worlds. And the last one is for all this AI technology I talked about, human hires and stuff might actually be able to better train the AI to do the jobs. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. I'll link down below similar videos and leave a comment, suggestion, or any questions in the comment section below. Again, thank you very much. Goodbye.